What if I told you that one company completely changed how India uses the internet? In 2016, Reliance Jio entered the telecom market and disrupted everything. Free calls, cheap data, and suddenly, millions of Indians were connected. But was this just aggressive pricing? Or was there a master strategy behind it? Today, we'll uncover how Reliance Jio used game theory to dominate the Indian telecom market and force its competitors to play by its rules. Before Jio, the telecom market in India was controlled by big players like Airtel, Vodafone, and Idea. Mobile data was expensive, and people were careful about using the internet. Calls and SMS were also costly. The industry was stable, until one day, Reliance Jio entered the game.
Jio is dedicated to realizing our Prime Minister's vision for 1.2 billion Indians. Jio will give the power of data to each Indian.
Before we dive into Jio's strategy, let's first understand game theory in the simplest way. Imagine you and your friend are deciding where to eat. You love pizza, but your friend prefers burgers. If you both don't agree, neither of you eats. So, you both have to think. Should I give in and eat burgers today? Or should I convince my friend to eat pizza? This is a basic example of game theory, a study of how people or companies make decisions strategically based on what others might do. In simple words, game theory is the science of strategy. It helps us understand how people or businesses compete, cooperate, or outsmart each other in different situations. It's used in sports, like a footballer deciding whether to kick left or right, knowing the goalkeeper is thinking the same way. It's used in finance, where investors try to predict stock prices based on other traders' actions. Game theory helps companies predict what competitors will do next and make the best move to win. And that's exactly what Reliance Jio did to dominate the telecom industry. Game theory is all about strategy, predicting your opponent's moves and making the best decision. Jio did exactly that by offering something that seemed too good to be true: free data and calls. Yes, for the first few months, Jio gave unlimited internet and calls for free. This forced competitors into a dilemma. Should they also offer free services and lose revenue? Or should they stick to their pricing model and lose customers? This is known as the prisoner's dilemma in game theory. If Airtel, Vodafone, and Idea also dropped their prices, everyone would suffer losses. But if they didn't, Jio would steal all their customers. Eventually, they had no choice but to lower their prices too, leading to a massive telecom price war. Game theory also has a concept called Nash equilibrium, a point where no player can improve their position by changing their strategy alone. Jio reached this by making data prices so low that competitors were forced to match them. At this stage, no telecom company could go back to expensive plans without losing customers. Before Jio, 1 gigabyte of data cost 250 rupees. After Jio, 1 gigabyte cost less than 10 rupees. This changed how people in India used the internet forever. In game theory, a payoff matrix is a tool that illustrates the potential outcomes of strategic decisions made by competing entities. Each cell in the matrix represents the payoffs for each player based on their chosen strategies. If they matched Jio's pricing, they could keep their customers but at the cost of lower profits, making long-term survival difficult. If they kept their existing prices, they risked losing price-sensitive customers, allowing Jio to capture the market faster. On the other hand, if Jio had chosen a moderate pricing strategy, the competition would have responded differently. By matching Jio's moderate pricing, telecom companies could have maintained a balanced market share with sustainable profits. If they kept their existing prices, they might have retained customers who valued service quality over low costs, making it harder for Jio to attract a significant user base. The conceptual payoff matrix helps in understanding the potential outcomes of different strategic choices, highlighting the complexities and interdependencies inherent in competitive markets. Now, here's the smart part. While Jio's competitors were busy adjusting their prices, Jio was playing a long-term game. By acquiring millions of users, Jio built an ecosystem: Jio TV, Jio Sayavan, Jio Fiber, and even Jio Mart. The goal was not just to sell SIM cards, but to dominate the digital economy. This strategy worked so well that in just a few years, Jio became India's largest telecom operator. And it didn't stop there. Global giants like Facebook and Google invested billions in Jio platforms. So, what did we learn today? Reliance Jio didn't just lower prices. It used game theory to outsmart its competitors. By offering free services first, it forced rivals into a prisoner's dilemma, reached a Nash equilibrium, and eventually monopolized the market. This is a masterclass in business strategy.